Welcome to Cricket Talks with Oz and Nabz. We're here joined by Mr. B. Welcome, Mr. B, to our show. We are glad to have you.
Thanks for having me, mate. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Not so pleasant news for the Pakistan cricket fan. We had a very terrible match today. Pakistan batting collapsed again, and we just succumbed under the pressure. What do you make of that, Ozzy?
Yeah, I mean, on the off, we mentioned Sharjil's inclusion, and I was a bit skeptical about it because I felt that Fakhr was the one that we really were going to rely on the big runs. Sharjil obviously came in, he wasn't ready, he looked unfit to me still, not 100%. And in particular, what disappointed me was not just the batting, but the fielding. His fielding was pretty shoddy as well. So really, he needs to get his act together. To play international cricket, you have to be of a certain standard and a certain fitness levels. And at the moment, he's below that. And I think his inclusion is questionable. He's a talented player, don't get me wrong. When he's on song, he's one of the best openers in the world. But fitness is clearly wasn't there. So I don't know, Mr. B, you want to add to
that? Look, if you look at Sajil, the way when you look at Sajil, you know what you're getting. You're getting a hard hitter. You're getting someone that is gonna basically, when the ball's in his area, he's gonna have a hard swing, and he is capable of hitting a ball at that ground. Do you get a player where he's gonna run the singles, make ones into twos, make the twos into threes? No, you're not gonna get that. And when I watched PSL this year, one of the standout batsmen on top of the order was Sajil. It was 100 that he scored. I remember that. I think the first 20 balls he was on about 8 or something like that. And in 20 overs, when you look at that strike rate, you think he's not going to get anywhere. But once he got used to the pace, once he got used to the bounce, once he got used to the bowlers, he clarted that ball all over the park, and he ended up getting 100. And today was what was needed today, in terms of it was a time. Let me rephrase that. The way he got out today was a time where Pakistan were not scoring too much, but he gave his wicket away at the wrong time. And we needed someone that was going to just knock it around. All right, I can't get the boundaries. They're fielding well. They're bowling well. The balls are in the right areas. They're bowling, maybe not getting the turn until Samshi came on. But I need to knock it around. I need to get ones. I need to get twos. And he's not that type of a batsman. But again, like you're saying, Oz, absolutely. If his fitness was there, he wouldn't have to rely on the big shots.
I'm just going to say, Nabz, with the start, you messaged me, we're 2 down. What was going through your mind?
I didn't see Rizwan getting out, so I switched on the TV and the Rizwan's gone. I was like, what the hell? And okay, I was just I knew that they're gonna be like it's gonna be low score again, because Rizwan, he plays, he anchors the innings really well, and he picks up singles here and there, and he doesn't get
right.
the pressure get to him.
Should we give credit to South Africa's bowling?
I don't think so. Like
South Africa bowling, George Lind opened the bowling, 3 wickets for what, 23 or 4 overs?
As Mr. B said, it was like Sharjil gave his wicket away, and so did Rizwan and other players.
Yeah.
Look at Haider Ali. He got in, and then somebody has to, like, I've seen Haider Ali playing very good innings, but he needs someone else at the other end to guide him through his innings, because he seems to rush through his innings, and he sometimes he gets carried away, and then he plays a rash shot and get up.
Yeah, Mr. B.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But you know what? He had Barber. He was batting with Barber. For me, I think that Haider's batting too low. I think that I mean, you talk about when you turn the TV on and Riz is out. I mean, if you look at the shot he played, the first ball, he came down the wicket and trying to smack the ball without even wanting to give himself time. And that is very unlike Mohammad Rizwan. I don't know whether
it was out of his nature.
Like that. It's very, very unlike Rizwan. I still think that Rizwan should come down the order. I think that he, like you said, you know, has a little bit more control, knocks it around. Like I said, I mean, I grew up being taught to play cricket where if you can't hit the boundaries, you got to get the ones. And when you make the ones, you got to look to make twos. Make twos into ones into twos and twos into threes. Just like the saying goes, you know, catches win matches. For batsmen, there is a saying, make ones into twos and twos into threes. And that way, when you get, you know, runs on the board, without even hitting the boundaries, you look up and you're on like 30, 40 runs without even hitting boundaries. Pakistan, not just today, Pakistan over the years have not done that enough. And one of the players that I think that we missed today that does that is Shadab Khan. When you look at him, he might not look at, you know, boundaries all the time. He might not even look like he's going to score boundaries. But when you look up the score, he plays 20 balls. He's on 30 not out because he knocks it around. He makes the other batsmen run. He makes the other fielders around him put pressure on them. You know, and that is what you need. Even in 2020, people might look at 2020 and think, oh, it needs a big bash. No, when situations like this today happen, like you said, Nabz, you need a cool, calm head. Haider Ali is going to look to hit that ball.
Just to pick on that point, the way Baba played, I don't know, he was fully there. I mean, he tried to you know, slog the ball, and that's not him as a player. I mean,
exactly.
And he wasn't looking for singles. He was looking for boundaries and was getting frustrated for not getting boundaries. And also, two out of 4, 5 boundaries that he scored came off outside edges. So,
yeah, but even that, if you look at that, you might think that, oh, the batsman's out of form, but he's coming off hundreds, he's coming off 50s, you know. But even when we sort of balance it out a little bit in terms of put a little bit of respectability with him and Hafiz, there were times I was shouting at the screen, why are you only taking 1? That should be 2. And when they're taking 2, so why are you taking 2? You know, they were like mulling around. If they had just pushed it a little bit more, even with the singles, even with the doubles, it would have put pressure on the opposition. It would have made, you know, the captain of the other team change the field. Then the onus is on you. Hit it over long on, hit it over long off. You know, a little bit, maybe the onside opens up because they're trying to stop you from taking singles. So then the gaps open. Pakistan didn't do that enough today for me.
All right, let's talk about how South Africa approached this game. I mean, it was a low-scoring game, and the way the openers came out, you know, with positive intent, they were aggressive from the start. I mean, they're taking on Shaheen and Hassan and Hasnain. They were, you know, these bowlers firing at 145, and you know, Johnnyman Milan and you know, Markram. That was really, you know, really outstanding innings from the openers.
Now, straight away, 200 was the par score, and we only made 140. But the South Africa approach was attacked from the beginning of the match. When George Lynn bowled, he was bowling attacking lines. And that's something Pakistan used to do over the years, start opening with Hafiz and putting pressure on the opening batsman. So you got a slower ball, you know, you got lack of pace on the ball. It's hard to get the ball away. Whereas when you got pace on the ball, you're going to get the elevation for your big shots. So we weren't allowed to start, you know, they didn't allow us to really play our natural game. So that was different. And as you said with the batting, well, 140 was really a below par score. So it was going to be a South Africa victory.
Well, 140 is a 10-over score, really, to be honest, on that pitch.
Yeah, the Wanderers. So, you know, South Africa's intent was to win convincingly as well.
But we have to give credit to Markram, like Nawaz, you know, bowled the second over. He bowled tight lines, but the footwork that, you know, he possesses is really good, and he made use of that. And it was, you know, he made batting look so easy.
Yeah, I think you know what, when you win a toss and you bat first, the main aim has to be to put runs on the board and give scoreboard pressure to the opposition. The South African batsmen came out with a free hit, really. There was no scoreboard pressure. You know, so I think that bowling, they were on to a loser straight away. If you look at the batting scorecard for Pakistan, I mean, how many people got bowled? I think it was Babar. There was one run out.
I'm going to share it with you. It's got it here.
Yeah, everyone else got caught. Everyone else gave their wicket away. You can't do that. Even in 20 overs cricket, you cannot let the pressure of not scoring get to you, because in any given moment you can have a 17 over a 17 runs over. You can get 20 runs in an over at any given, and as soon as you do that, the pressure goes on to the opposition. Pakistan need to play a little bit more relaxed cricket. Cricket. Believe in their abilities to take on the batsman when you've got the pace of the wicket down, when you've got the pace of the bowler down, when you've got the bounce of the wicket down. And you can only do that if you give yourself time, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm looking at that scorecard. There was a lack of sixes you can see there. So what was that down to? The lack of sixes. What do you reckon, boys?
Me personally, the way they were watching, from my experience of playing, they were trying to hit the ball too hard. There was no timing in any of their shots. I think Hassan Ali, when he hit the first ball that he hit for six, that was probably the only time properly. Apart from that, I thought they were forcing the issue too much.
Yeah.
And mishitting it.
Yeah.
That's correct. Thanks for your points, boys. Quickly, the changes that we need to make to make a strong comeback.
We need Fakhr fit.
Yeah.
I think and somewhere, somehow, even if he's not gonna bowl, they have to find a place for Shadab Khan for me. Because as someone that, you know, in a situation like this, will take singles, will push his partner to run ones and twos, and give the strike to the guy who is hitting the ball. I think they need to find a space for him in there, and I believe that Haider Ali needs to bat a little bit higher up the order.
Yeah, if you look here, after Hafiz, there's no one who can really bat.
Yeah.
Well, they can.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
we need.
Doesn't Haider Ali open up for his PCL?
Yeah, he opens or plays at one down.
So if Haider can't play, Shajil can open with Haider and bring Mohammad Rizwan where Haider is. It gives a little bit more of a balance and a little bit more of a security in the last 10, 5 overs, with Rizwan in there batting with Fahim. And, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Nabz needs to score as well, I think.
You can bring Hafiz down. You can bring Hafiz down as well, because I think he's too high up. I think Hafiz can do a finishing job at the end. Maybe,
that's it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he has done that. He's done that for many years, and he can play at 5. And he's produced some really good innings.
Absolutely. I mean, there are options. I mean, the thing, this Pakistan team, people need to remember, this Pakistan isn't a bad team. This team has got talented bowlers. This team has got big hitters. This team has got clever cricketers. It's just finding the right balance and then consistently finding that right balance. I think, chopping one, I think obviously Fakhr is probably injured. If he didn't, it would have been the same team. But, Sajil needs to take this opportunity. Even this side, we need to find a right balance in there. And it will take time, but I think it's got something there. This is not drastic. This should be a learning curve. The only problem is things like this happen too often.
Oh, well, the problem with Rizwan, if you send Rizwan down the order, we've seen that in the ODI, they tried it, but Rizwan failed in 3 innings.
I think he scored 40 in one, didn't he? Where they chased down the 270 odd.
In
at the wrong time. But the thing is, see, that just shows, he has got it in him. He got a start. I mean, if he didn't play that silly soup shot, get a top edge and got caught, he would have ended up with a 50, 60 not out there. So he's got it in him. I just today when he played that shot, I just burst out laughing. I was like, "What are you doing?" You know, because he is such a good batsman on his day, and I'm sure he went back into dressing room. He either laughed or cried, but either one of those two, hopefully he's going to learn from that mistake.
Anything you would like to add, Oz?
Yeah, no, I'd like to add, obviously, this team a few years ago was #1 in T20s. I think we won 11 consecutive series under Sarfraz. So players like Shoaib Malik have been sidelined. Imad Wasim has been sidelined at the minute. You know, they were crucial players in that team. So there's a lack of experience in this side, and there's a bit of an imbalance there, because I know Shoaib Malik, similar age to Hafiz, but the experience that he would bring to the side is quite telling, because at the minute the middle order looks a bit lightweight to me, and so is the all-rounder position. Imad Wasim, he can open the bowling and he can also bat as well, and he's known for hitting 4s and 6s. So they're crucial players that are missing in that side, and I do hope the chief selectors and the management look at that and look at positions 6, 7, and 8. They're not really producing the goods at the minute. So it is a bit concerning that, you know, this was a #1 team, and the World Cup not far away, so they can't really be experimenting too much. They really need to know who is their starting 11, and at the moment they don't know that. At the moment the team management doesn't have a clue, which is very concerning at the minute.
Yeah, right. How about resting Shaheen in the next game? I've been keep saying this. Come on, the lad deserves rest.
Mr. B, do you reckon Shaheen deserves a rest?
I think everyone deserves a rest from time to time. But, you know, can that bowling attack do without Shaheen Afridi?
Well, Ramadan just around the corner, innit? He'll have his rest then.
That's it. Yeah. Do some
we got another Pathan. We got another Pathan, Wasim, Muhammad Wasim Jr. He's an all-rounder. He can come in.
Don't know much about him.
I think. Look, if it's for a change where you're looking at someone that to come in and stake a claim in this side, then do it. But if it's just to get him, you know, playing 1 or 2 games and then he's not going to make a next series, then I don't see any point in changing a team. If there is someone that is going to come in and make this team better, if there's someone that is going to come and make a claim in this team, then do it. Because we're too close to a World Cup.
Yeah. Just on that, I'm just concerned that what if he gets injured now and doesn't make it to the World Cup squad? Then what happens?
Yeah, I mean, look, injuries are part and parcel of any sport. And Nabz, you're absolutely right. It could happen. But really, at the moment, it's probably just, you know, a concern. The boy looks fit. The boy looks like he looks after himself. But you know what, Nabz, I think you are sort of picking at a point that needs to be discussed, because he has played a hell of a lot of cricket. In a short
he's been
space
playing non-stop. He's played in all 3 formats.
Absolutely. But it's got to be someone that can, you know, stake a claim, not just let's say a novelty sort of, you know, game or something like that. I think Pakistan have done that too much for too long. Brought someone in for 1 game and then or 2 games, and then you don't hear them for another couple of years. I'm not an advocate of that. I think that the name you mentioned, Muhammad Wasim, the Aussie mentioned 2 names there. For me, Imad Wasim as well. You know, he brings so much to the table. He's actually captain of his PSL side as well. So you're bringing in experience.
The point is that he's not with the team now. So I'm talking about the players that are already with the team.
Absolutely. I would like to see Imad Wasim come to England and play. But yeah, with Wasim's in that squad, I think, isn't he? Mohamed Wasim.
Yeah.
Bring him in. Yeah, why not? Why not? It's 1-1 at the series. I think there's 2 more to go, and then that's it. We'll do it.
How about Fahim Ashraf? Play with either Fahim Ashraf or Nawaz. I mean, with the bowling, Fahim hasn't shown anything. Nawaz has shown with the bowling, but he needs to show something with the bat. So we can pick either one of them. Another player. Another get a batsman.
Yeah, get rid of both of them and put Imad Wasim in. He can do 2 jobs.
No, I'm specifically talking about the third T20 because Imad is not there. So we got Danish Aziz and we got Asaf Ali. Because if I'm looking at this batting, it looks fragile. The 5, 6, and 7. It's
the only person you can bring in is Asif Ali, really, because he's supposed to be a bit of a batsman, but his fielding and his he can't bowl. So you got question selection. On what basis were these players selected on? Yeah, and the South African team was there for the taking, and at the moment the performance has been really below par. I mean, we're expecting victories in these T20s, and instead, an inexperienced South African side has outclassed a relatively experienced Pakistan team, which is really is at the moment. For me, personally, I'm disappointed. I was expecting Pakistan to be a bit more, had too much for them, but today it proved that there's a lot of issues regarding selection and players' fitness. They don't seem up to the task.
I think in terms of name of Fahim Ashraf, I think Fahim brings too much to the table. I think he's too valuable in terms of the all-rounder, his capabilities. He batted well in the last game as well. Today he might have not have, but everyone else has failed as well. So you know what I mean.
I'm not saying that we should drop him, but what I'm saying is we can utilize these 2 players according to the conditions.
No, absolutely. I mean, even in my last video, I said that if you're going to make changes, it has to be because of the conditions. But today's wicket was exactly the same as what they played on in the last game. They just didn't bat well enough. They didn't bat to the situation. They gave the wickets away. And when your top order do that, then it puts pressure on the lower middle order. So really, to be honest, if you are going to make a change, maybe Shaheen, because like you said, Nabz, he's played too much cricket, bring somebody else in. But apart from that, they're all capable of scoring 50s, 100s in this format of the game. They just need to apply themselves a lot better than they did today.
Anything you'd like to add, Oz?
No, I mean, I'm just hoping the team for the third T20 really be more positive, because I didn't see the positivity in the batting. You win the toss, you really got to be positive and play your shots, but play sensibly. There was too much. They were rushing, and that's why Rizwan got out, and they quickly followed by
Shoaib Akhtar in his interview wanted Pakistan to be ruthless, so I thought I took that seriously.
I think what we need is Wazir Akram to have a chat with them in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, come on.
All right, let's wrap it up. Thanks for your time, Mr. B and Oz. It was lovely having a talk with you guys. Hopefully soon.
Absolute pleasure, guys. Thank you very much.
Please subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more interesting analysis. Until next time, take care. Goodbye.